What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, going to go over the trades we end up taking today inside the Discord, as well as the game plan going into tomorrow. So, right off open, this is where we were. I told you guys yesterday we were neutral. The 30-minute chart was crossing down on the call side on the 7:15 calls, so we were neutral intraday. And I told you guys just looking for some sort of 0DT cross to take an entry, and this is what we ended up looking like throughout the day. So first side, call side. The 710 or not the 710, is it 710 calls? Yeah, 710 calls here, ended up crossing down right off of open. Then we came back up and got this little cross, but I did not end up taking this. So I just didn't like how we looked on the next week's contract. So tomorrow's Friday, we were picking new contracts. So usually on Thursday afternoon, I do start to look at what those next weeks are going to be looking like. And given what we were looking like, 7:15 calls for next week, I didn't love this chart. I know we started to break above it. 50 was still down. I wanted to kind of see if we would take that bullish trend first before taking any crosses. So I did stay out of that 0DT call cross. Wasn't something I wanted to take, and that obviously ended up not working out. And we saw a massive move down because of some news that came out. So I told you guys it's like a news-driven market. We are just moving up and down based on headlines, and that's not really something you could take advantage of. I mean, it's kind of got to get lucky if you're in a trade when one of these headlines comes out. Because if we look on the put side now, 708 puts, we got this cross right here. I'm not sure what this ended up looking like if you were able to get an entry on this. I doubt it because of this candle right here. It was, we're at what, 120, and this 50's all the way up at 0.46, so that's over like 150% from where we were. So that's definitely not an entry you would have been able to take to ride this move. Hindsight, it looks like you could have, but the risk reward definitely was not there to take that trade. So that's kind of what we looked like on the 0DT charts. When it came to the fib levels now, if we pull up the regular ES chart, this actually gave, or no, this is the regular ES chart. I did try a short off of this level right here, the 7130, but I exited break even. Just because when I started to look at the higher time frames on the call side, I saw we were still sitting at pretty major spots. If we pull up like the 1 hour on next week's contracts, we didn't cross negative yet, and we were still kind of sitting at that area. And then same thing with like the 2 hour. 2 hour was near the 50, and just didn't make sense for me to remain in the trade. I just didn't think, given where we were going to see a move lower. We kind of need to break these higher time frame 50s. I kind of wanted to see like that immediate reaction down, which we didn't get. We're kind of just stalling at the level. So I just cut it for break even. That was like a half size trade for me anyways. I didn't have too much risk on the table for that. But yeah, it's kind of what the regular, or not the regular, I don't know why I keep saying regular, but this ES chart looked like. Not gonna lie, the other fibs did do pretty well. I mean, look at this 7148 level on the ESM contract for June. You can see it gave this top tick level right up in here at 48, and then also gave a long over here in the morning right off of that level. So 48 all the way up to 81. That gave like almost 40 points, like 35 points, and then it broke below that level, pulled back to this fib right here, 71.48, and gave another like 25, 26 points. So that was probably honestly the better one to use, just because even if we look at the 0DT chart, what ended up happening was the only bad thing about that fib trade was this 0DT chart. We were losing the 50, starting to cross down a little bit, and if you looked at this chart when we were nearing that fib, it probably didn't look the greatest. So was it the best trade in the world to take? Probably not. It would definitely be a lower risk trade since that 0DT chart just wasn't looking good. We lost the 50. Looked like it was going to cross down, but didn't end up happening, and it did give us a solid move. But there wasn't anything really high conviction today to where I love the setup. So I just ended up staying out, and we didn't take anything, or we took that one half size trade, break even trade on ES off of that fib. But when it came like the 0DT charts, there's nothing I was really confident in, so ended up staying out. I did end up closing all my swings that I was in. I ended up taking a little bit of a loss on open. I think it was like around like 35%. Because of that news candle that came out, I just ended up exiting my swings at whatever they were. They still look really good, I'm not going to lie. Open, still really nice looking chart. I also ended up closing out APLD, which was like 115% of my swing. Finally closed that. I added that like last week. Trying to remember what else we had. I did enter a new one today. It's iron, really good looking chart, really high conviction. And that I also took INFQ yesterday. That was also a loss. And then I ended up closing out the rest of my ONDS, which I think ended up trailing at like 50%. But iron, this is one that I really want to go over. This looks super good. Let's see, what does Cypher look like? I know this daily chart, yeah, 50's down. Iron looks super. This is probably my highest conviction long there is right now in this market. If we pull it up, the May contracts. Look at this daily chart, man. Daily chart setting up to cross right here. I know the 50's down a little bit, but I think that's going to end up curling tomorrow. And this is one that I'm really high conviction on over the next couple of weeks, months. Daily chart looks really good. I think this is going to get explosive move higher. I'm going to swing for this. Got the 55 calls for the 22nd for March or May, and then I have the November ones because there's an insane amount of flow on the 55 or the 70 calls for November. So I'm just tailing that. Maybe they know something, I don't know, but it aligns with this chart as well. So that's what I'm rocking with. And we have a shorter term expiration to kind of catch this initial cross, and if it's a really aggressive trend, then I have the November contracts. They don't move as fast, so lower risk on that, but heavier size. So this is one that I'm really confident, and we'll see how this ends up playing out. But that's pretty much what we end up doing today. Going into tomorrow, what do we look like? So if we pull up the 30-minute chart here on the 7:15 calls, we're picking new contracts tomorrow. So maybe we'll get the 7:15s. I don't know. I'm just kind of guessing here. Wait, so it's either going to be like the 7:15s or the 7:10 calls. But right here, this 30-minute chart definitely doesn't look, or this is actually the wrong contract. It's not that one. That's the May contracts, monthlies. But this is what we look like on the 30-minute right now. I know we crossed negative here, but we still have these higher time frames that we have to get through. Like this 1 hour chart lost to 50, but it still sloped up super hard. This chart's pretty much irrelevant. And then we also have this 2 hour 50, which is sloped up super hard, which is going to be another massive spot we need to get through. And then same thing with the 4 hour. This 4 hour is all the way down in here. If we come down and test that, again, we're going to need it to break for us to go lower. So I said this yesterday, said again, I can't really be super bearish with what we look like. We need to break through all these higher time frame 50 SMAs to get a significant drop. So, for tomorrow, any sort of 0DT call across would work. Either side, honestly, would work. Same thing as today. That's kind of what I was looking for. But I did stay away from the call across just based on what that 30-minute looked like. And same thing will go for tomorrow. If I don't like what the 30-minute looks like, then I won't end up taking across. But that's kind of the outlook tomorrow. When it comes to like the fib levels, honestly, I probably will be looking at a long. Wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. 71.30. If we get a retest of that tomorrow, or if we come, there's no other really trade to go off of besides the 71.30. I mean, we would need a significant move all the way down here, which I doubt is going to happen. So I'm pretty much the 71.30 level is going to be your level to watch for right up in here to go long. So either a long off of that or a 0DT call across will be the move for tomorrow. And yeah, that's pretty much all I got. If you guys enjoyed, drop a sub, join the Corey if you want to learn. I'm out. Peace.